All right, guys. Just doing a little preparation here for any trip, actually. The first trip to Caliente will be just the mountain bikes, the generator, cot, canopy. I probably don't need the canopy because there are canopies there, but I'm gonna take it because it has to come with us when we go to Idaho, so it's good to get the idea of where you're gonna put it. And that's it right there. I'll drill some slots to hold this down with a couple of ratchets, and this will be ratcheted. This will be ratcheted down to this deck. This will be ratcheted to the spare. I'll put at least 2, maybe even 3 ratchets on it. And of course we do have 2 fuel cells out here, and it'll carry the 2 bikes, the cot, canopy, 2 fuel cells, and then unfortunately we're gonna have to put the generator inside of here, so it'll go all the way back in the corner over there at the end. I mean, that's just the way it's gonna have to be. So, but this should work out just fine. It should be a fairly easy thing to do. And it's gonna put some weight on the back of the rig here. The back is definitely gonna be down. Let me see what it says right now. I think it's at about 8.5. Okay, 8.25. Eight and 3/4. For whatever reason, it's a 1/2 inch lower on this other side. Doesn't make any sense, but I'm not going to worry about it. You would think that it'd be lower on that other side because these bins don't really weigh that much. You know what I'm saying? But they do weigh a little bit. And they're on that side of the Jeep. But this is basically the way we're gonna set this baby up when we go to Caliente, possibly tomorrow. So I just wanted to take a look and see what I needed to do. And we need to make a few slots for this baby. And then of course, I don't believe I can drive this in, highly unlikely. You know, once it'd be nice to load it up and drive it in, except for the fuel cells in the last bike. You know what I'm saying? It'd be nice to have everything on here ready to go, except for this last bike. It might make it. I believe it will. I can't remember. I know it couldn't make it if the bike was on there. But I mean, if it does fit, I guarantee you're going to be all the way as far in as you can be. And it gets to the point where this wants to hit this. This. So I mean, essentially, I guess you could measure it. I've got about maybe 35 inches before I get into trouble. Oh yeah. Dude, it's gonna be cool because I can load it up almost one, except for the fuel cells in the last bike. Everything else can be loaded. I really need to, you know, kind of get started on this and do it, you know. But I know one thing, it's going to be very difficult to get through here. I've done it before, and I believe that's how far it has to come in again, almost all the way. You know, certainly, I think I'd be able to fit through there, but I'm not going to do it right now. I might do it later on today. I'm going to go take my power nap. But it's good to do all this legwork, guys. I'm telling you, man. It's weird. I was trying to figure out, so we don't have the awning anymore. So we have to take a canopy. That's a good canopy. The beauty of canopies is when it's not windy, it's real easy to keep it up and leave it up. But if it gets windy, you can take the lid off of this, the tarp, real quick, real easy when it starts getting windy, if you know what I mean. And we have to tilt this down to get this out of here. Then we'll plug this light back in. We'll be able to run that light too. And you gotta push this and push that. You know, this sucker will be able to go. It might fall, so I better put it underneath here. But there's so much clearance. Just got to make sure those are out of the way for sure. And then we'll just take this little old boy. We're not backing it out right now, but we'll stick that right there like that. I don't know. I might be right back down here in about 3 minutes doing this. I got a mark. I put a slot here, slot here. There's a couple other marks on this other side. Slot, slot. Those two will tie down the cot. And then you've seen where the canopy goes. We might be right back down here. I'm gonna go upstairs and just kind of kick it for a while. I want to take a power nap. But yeah, it'll be sweet, man. I can set this fucker up, throw one bike on. I've already got I got this thing packed except for the food. Tomorrow I'm gonna pick up some donuts from, before I leave, I'll pick up some donuts from Pink Box, pick up a couple of couple of subs from Porta Subs, big ones. Ham and beef. One ham, one beef, and huge double meat. That'll take care of your lunch and dinner for a few days. Throw in a couple pounds of hamburger. It's going to be 2 nights, 3 days. But you could potentially stay another day, so make sure you take enough food for that. If indeed I go. The temperatures are good. It's going to be in the high 20s at night. Maybe even a little colder. But I think I can live with that. I'll tell you what, guys, it's nice mountain biking, that's for sure. Yeah, we need to go get some rest. I'm gonna be doing something different tonight. I'm gonna be going to work, but I'm gonna be trying a different location. I heard about it, so I'm gonna go check it out. Man, that's cool. I think that's gonna work out. It's so fucking bitchin', man. I was trying to figure out where the fuck I was gonna put the canopy and the cot. The cot's not a problem. That's easy. But also that canopy, I could put it further out on the fuel cells. Remember, I'm supposed to put an extension on that. I'm supposed to put an extension on that bike rack that'll carry another 2 fuel cells and a bicycle. But then the back of the Jeep is going to be way down. The front is going to be up. It's going to be problematic. Even now it's going to be that way. And it's just going to be 2 fuel cells, because another fuel cell would be 35 pounds. The bike would be another 32 pounds. It would be way enough fuck out on the end. We're going to go with just these 2 bikes and 2 fuel cells and the cot canopy, and then put the generator inside the Jeep. So I don't like putting the generator in the Jeep, but we're going to have to do that. Man. You know what I'll do is I will take a look into that. I will take a look into the roof rack. Now, obviously, it's not going to fit in this cell, but it may fit over there. I've been told that it only raises 1.5 inches to the height of the Jeep in the center, where it's close to touching, because the roof is kind of rounded up near the top. So the high point is in the center. So if it's 1.5 inches, I still don't think it'll fit in here, but I do believe it'll fit in my other stall over there. So we'll have to take a look into that too here in the next few days. If it fits into the other stall, then it's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? You might get the roof rack. I don't know for sure. What does it buy me? Well, you're able to put a tarp on your Jeep easier without it rubbing against the roof. I mean, that roof rack goes from here all the way to here. So you pretty much eliminated, you'd be able to throw a tarp right there pretty easily. And then, of course, you're going to put one of those pool floaties right here, one right here, and one across here. Easy to tie down, easy, quick. Throw them over, clip them on. And of course, you're gonna probably put one right here too, because the tarp will come over and then go over the spare tire, etc. You put a small piece of the floaty right here, and a small piece of the floaty right here. Easy to put it on. If you run a string through the center, there's a screw right here. You loosen it and you just pull that string in. You don't have to take it off. You just loosen it just enough to pull the string in. Bang, done. One down here too. I don't know if you can see, but it's gonna be quite the project, man. If it all goes down, I do believe it'll fit in that stall with a roof rack on. So I'm not sure I'm going to do it, but I do believe it'll fit. And the only problem is, these crumple zones on the bumper here. See these crumple zones? Now, one of those crumple zones is going to come into this door area here. But the other crumple zone is going to come into this drywall area. Now, I have no compunction. I'll cut a hole in this drywall if shove comes to push, so that thing can fit right inside of there. So you can see, I don't know if you can see, but you can see that the Jeep is almost too big right now, okay? But that's because if we go to the back of the Jeep, we got it pulled forward a good, because of the bike rack, it's pulled forward a good probably 13 inches at least. At least 13 inches. So let's take a look at this again. Yeah, you probably need every bit of it. I would probably say that there's 12 inches. From, if you draw a line with the wall right there, maybe not quite 12, maybe it's sticking about this one. Well, let's measure it, ballpark figure. It'd be about right there. Yeah, about 10 inches. It'll fit, is the bottom line. But like I said, that one of these crumple zones, I'll probably have to cut the drywall so that when I pull the Jeep in, that crumple zone goes right into that hole into the drywall. Boom. And the other crumple will touch the doorway, the door, so we can live with all of that shit. My, isn't this fun? Doing all this fucking legwork. It's going to be cool, man. It's going to be cool. The Jeep is projected to get around 12 miles to a gallon average, you know, provided you're not driving against a stiff headwind, and provided that you keep the speed under 65 and, you know, don't get into it too often. You'll get about 12 miles to a gallon. Now, my other Jeep got about 13. You know what I'm saying? It got 16 one time, but I had a tailwind pushing me on my last trip to Idaho. Just my last trip, last October, whenever I went, September, yeah. But there was one section where I got 13 with that Jeep, and then there was one section where I got 16, but it was because I had that tailwind pushing me. So bottom line is that Jeep gets 13. The 3.6 liter Pentastar, great engine, super engine, nothing but raves about that engine, and that engine in that Jeep was strong. But if you can have a Jeep like this and sacrifice 1 mile to a gallon, I can live with that. Anyways, we're gonna go upstairs and kick it for a while. And let me put this away. We did a little bit of stuff getting the Jeep ready. I put some clothes in, I put the battery chargers in, I put my shampoo and conditioner in. We don't need it on this trip, but you want to have all of that stuff inside of your Jeep. I've got the swimsuit in there. There's a towel for drying off. Of course, I've got my First Light pants. I don't remember my earlier videos. I told you I was going to get some First Light pants. They did go on sale. You can use them for mountain biking. Trust me, they're solid as rock. They'll be a little bit warmer pant. And then, of course, you can wear them in the evening, you know what I'm saying, near the campfire and shit like that. But they're durable. They, they resist dirt. So, they won't get dirty very easy and all that good shit. They resist odor, all kinds of shit like that. But anyways, we got those packed. We got our jackets packed. We've got our fire pit packed, our propane tank packed. We got to throw in a generator. That's easy. Like I said, I don't really like hearing the generator inside because you can get a gas smell, but you got what you got. There's no way we can put the generator on this deck. There's just no room for it. It's made for the car. You can do it on the car, but the spare tire is in the way on this beast. And yes, the spare tire is coming, gentlemen. So we'll stick it inside the cab. I'm just thinking in the future, I could potentially have another dog. So you won't be able to there's plenty of room in here for 2 dogs. Plenty. But if you put the generator in, it's going to get a little bit crowded. But still, there would be room for them, but you want to give them that kind of space. So you want the next thing to do would be to put the generator on the roof and get the roof rack. So that'd be interesting. And then plus, like I told you, what I'm saying, the roof rack, I was going to get the roof rack simply to protect the Jeep from being scratched when I throw the tarp over it. You know what I'm saying? It's a good barrier between the tarp and the paint on the Jeep. Excellent barrier. I mean, you're going to get scratches on your roof from this tarp. You know what I'm saying? But you can live with that many scratches as long as it's not a continual, perpetual rubbing against your paint. You don't want that. But if it flaps against your paint and shit, that's stuff you'll just have to live with. I mean, it beats having the sun bling down on your Jeep all day and heat the interior and I mean, if that were the case, I'd have to take the refrigerator out and put it in the shade, put a tarp over it. So, because if the inside of the Jeep gets really hot, I mean, when you're camping, you can't leave the windows open like this because there's deer mice. They'll get inside of here. You can leave them open just a little bit, like the size of your finger, so the deer mice can't get in. They get in and eat your food. Some places, some of the places that we go in Idaho, it's recommended that you keep your food inside the Jeep so it keeps the bears away too. So, but anyways, I'm gonna let you go. We did a little legwork today. We're getting the Jeep prepared for this is Sunday. We're getting it prepared for a possible trip tomorrow. I'm crossing all my T's, dotting all my I's. It would not take very long to throw this thing on. It's held on by 4 bolts. Throw it on, load up the bike, load up the cot, load up the canopy, leave the last bike off, the outer bike, and leave the 2 fuel cells off, but have your straps pre-made, pre-ready to go for both, for the fuel cells especially. You know, get your ratchet straps ready for those, so it's real easy to put them on. And then pull this fucker in, and you'll just back this fucker out when it's time to go. Just like shooting fish in a barrel. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it. Let me see what we got here. Okay, nothing there. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna let you go, guys.